standing by while he lets that in base hatchery fall, and now it's gonna move in. The tanks are holding the line, so CheckPrime cannot move into these units because they're just gonna get shelled from these tanks, which is very nice play from our Terran Hansin, using a few Marines as meat shields, as cannon meat, while the cannons just do a lot of damage, but Banelings doing a lot of damage to the Marines, Zerglings running in, and Roaches, and these tanks are going to fall. No, a lot of tanks have fallen, but a few have survived. There are a few Marines to protect these, and I think right now if we look at the unit size, we have 13 Marines and 3 tanks for the Terran, and we do have not that big of an army for our Zerg player. The production tab is going to tell a different story. There's a Thor on the way, 6 Mutas and 22 Lings and 3 Banelings. Loot units lost tab. Fairly equal, I have to say. So both players in exactly the same position, the only difference being that right now Hansin is on 2 base and he is in a bit of an economical problem, while CheckPrime is on 3 base because, well, 3 base and securing a second high yield. Now this drop will do, and this drop will probably drop 1 high yield, but there is this one and all of these drones moving in, and I don't think that Hansin he does not know about that second high yield. Now Muta's coming in, gonna try and take out the medevacs, taking out a medevac, now running away from the Marines and these Thors. So if we look at these Thors, apparently Hansin did not buy the collector's edition, but then again, that is a choice. These Mutas with their speed are able to take out a tank and run away and do some damage to the reinforcing units, which is very nice indeed, taking out another tank, splitting up the units. But these Mutas are gonna die, and this, I think he should actually run in and try to take out a barracks or a robotics. But this is very nice because as long as these Mutas are on the map, the Terran army is forced to run around and protect its own base from these Mutas, and as you can see, also forcing our Terran Hansin to get out a lot of missile turrets, and they don't cost that much, but at the end of the game this will matter. Now there is a lack of a orbital command here. Where did this orbital command fall earlier? Did I miss that, or did it actually transition here? Strange, I actually missed it. I have no idea when I missed it, when I missed that kind of a move, and I can't go back to look because I have no idea when it happened. We have this command center morphing into a planetary fortress, and now these Mutas are going to do a lot of damage. The SCV should start repairing this, because if he doesn't and this command center falls, that means that Hansin will be in a lot of trouble. The army does come back here to scare away the Mutas, but as you can see, Mutas are so dangerous against any player because of their incredible speed and incredible map control. Meanwhile, CheckPrime is securing yet another expansion. So economically speaking, let's see, we are at the econ tab. 1,500 income for CheckPrime, while Hansin is at 101. Poor Terran exploding from a poor Marine exploding from one single Baneling. And here we have another encounter. Zerglings coming in, taking out a tank. Banelings coming in, gonna do a lot of damage to the Marines. The Thor actually, the Thor soaking up a lot of Banelings, but a few drones in there too, and one Thor went down, and only a handful of Marines remaining, and 1 Thor. So the Mutas will be able, Mutas with Zerglings. There we go, the magic box trick, using your Mutas, pulling them over here so that the Thor doesn't do that much of a splash damage. Just moving over the Thor gets picked up and it dies. There aren't enough Marines here, I think, to deal with this Mutas, but maybe there are. More Zerglings on the way, gonna take out this tank and going to take out a few Marines. Again, and take out that medevac. The Thor is gone, so now the CheckPrime is in a good position. Only reinforcing units for Hansin. A few SCVs getting pulled off probably by mistake. If we look at the APM, Hansin is trying to move like crazy while CheckPrime is calmly being very effective. As I've said, I'm a fan of APM. I love to see 300 here, but at the end, and as I say that, CheckPrime satisfies. As I said, but at the end of the day, APM doesn't win matches. Skill and knowing when to go click, 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 click is what wins you the match. Sometimes you can just simply sit back and relax and think about your next move, not just randomly clicking and, oh, I should move left, move right, move left, move right. 2 bunkers being excuse me, I've run out of air, being salvaged there. So a little more resources. These marines do have shield stim. There is no concussive shield. There are no marauders because no roaches were visible, so marauders aren't that good versus lings. They are really weak against mutas because, well, they don't shoot up. And we have another, and right now we only have a few drones here, but this high yield is getting a little slowly saturated. Meanwhile, the main base is mined out. We do have some idle drones. I suppose maybe CheckPrime should consider getting this one. And finally we have the Terran Hansin moving out. He still doesn't know about this high yield, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. No, he actually does know about this high yield, but he has yet to move in. He doesn't know about this base, but now Zergling's moving in. That means that he will see this base. He's clearly seen the creep, so he knows there's a base here. Moving CheckPrime doing some damage with the banelings, but with the Thor here, that damage is just being soaked up, and the siege tank sieging up, trying to hold this position from Zergling, which is good, while these marines and Thor are going to be able to snipe this base off, which means another devastating blow to CheckPrime's economy. In the units lost tab, Hansin is in the lead, not by much, only 2,000 minerals, but it's lead. Now these all these drones are going to be taken out. They're trying to long distance mine to here, but so much for that. I'm surprised that Hansin isn't opting to actually try and secure and take out this expansion as well. Oh, that is why all these Zerglings coming in here, taking out a lot of SCVs, and that means right now that our poor Hansin is only at one base. If we look at the income, only 30 harvesters to 42. So he's mining only at this one base, this high yield. So we'll see exactly who manages. He is not mining gas, probably not from the main, but no, he's only mining gas from one gas here. He's getting a mule there, so he's in a bad position as well. Units lost tab, again, very small difference. And we have finally CheckPrime is going to secure this expansion again. And if he does, he is still in a commanding lead. I just rested my voice there for a while. Another marine getting sacrificed for scouting, and we do have, let's see, the army composition: a 104 for our Zerg and 79 for our Terran. And if we look at the units, we have two Thors, one siege tank, 33 marines, and 2 medevacs against a lot of Zerglings, a few Bailings, and that's pretty much it. And a lot of roaches. Roaches are being, and mutas apparently have been forgotten and getting roaches, and without any marauders, these roaches are gonna be able to do a lot of damage. And here we have an engagement, roaches coming in, the Banelings running in after the marines, exploding next to the Thor, sadly, and the one Thor getting picked up, and now it's roaches versus marines, versus marines and a Thor, a few Banelings. These roaches are going to be able to do a lot of damage. There is a siege tank coming from behind, and now CheckPrime is forced to fall back. He does have these lings, but sadly he didn't move them in, and a nice scan being used to take out a few of these creep tumors to stop that creep from spreading. This expansion is getting saturated, so the income is very nicely secure, still holding quite well for CheckPrime. 700 over 500 and 200 gas over 100. Moving in here with all these links, gonna surround the Thor. This Thor is dead, no pickup for the Thor, and these SCVs try to repair, but they are going to fall to the roaches, and a few marines getting picked up as well. The Thor is sadly gonna get away because there are no anti-air units, there are no hydras, there are no nothing. So now CheckPrime is, oh, and nice again, pick it up. The sword is being used as bait, and CheckPrime is being forced to move away, and these two lings are gonna get shot at, one link surviving. So this is very close indeed. A lot of action, a lot of macro, a lot of micro, and we have 10 Banelings on the way from these Zerglings. There are the 10 Banelings, and now Hansin is forced to secure this high yield because he is running low. This high yield is almost mined out. He has yet to rebuild his expansion here. This is the command center moving out, so that's probably what happened here as well. His main base only has about 1,000 minerals left around here, maybe 2. And the Zerg player trying to delay this as long as possible, which is great. Actually getting us around on the army and this is bad for Hansin because right now he has pretty much only a few Marines. Let's look at the unit. He has 12 Marines and that's it against 7 Roaches and 3 Lings and a couple of Banelings. So where are those 10 Marines? I have no idea where those Marines are. Another Marine falling. There's 2 more Marines gonna be taken out by the Roaches. 1 tank coming up. This is very huge because the tank is going to be able to finish off these Roaches. More links coming in. Very, very good pressure from CheckPrime. CheckPrime just pounding and pounding and pounding on our poor Terran player, not allowing him to do pretty much anything because he is now mining off of this alone with 2 harvesters. So his income is 76 over 700. That is a 10 times difference. All these links moving in, and the Terran is going to use his annoying way of lifting off. But the problem is he's not going to be able to land anywhere. As long as he doesn't have any minerals, he doesn't have that much minerals, so there's nowhere for him to run, there's nowhere for him to hide. So Hansin is just going to be picked apart by Lings. This is bad. Meanwhile, CheckPrime is not banking. Let's see the production tab. He's getting a few mutas just to secure this. Just to take care of the flying buildings. A few Marines gonna try, but these Marines are definitely not enough to take out all these Lings. Right now, supply depots getting taken out, and as you can see, the supply for our Terran player slowly dropping, and soon he won't be able to even get enough armies to deal with anything. Even though he has managed to save a lot of his production facilities, this is pretty much over. So before actually the players quit, I have to say congratulations to our Zerg CheckPrime, again proving that good players are good players and make me even like Zerg despite the fact that I hate Zerg. So good play from him, transitioning from mutas to roaches to mutas, always having the unit composition he needed to deal with the Terran ball, and now just simply being annoying, harassing the SCVs, doing a few damage to the Marines, just sniping off units. And right now CheckPrime is just being annoying. His Lings are bunched up here, and Hansin finally calling the GG because he's also lost the orbital command. That was a very nice game to watch. CheckPrime just dominating. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode.